welcome to today's episode of Elden Ring Builds. Now, in the last episode, we covered Nina's build, which is a fellow YouTuber, of course. Now, today's build, we were going to be focusing on the Crucible Knights, the one with the sword and shield, aka the Axe Knight, or Ordovis's Knight, and the men of Ordovis, the Crucible Knight, of course. So, beginning this build, you're going to want to start off with the Prophet, mainly because for the Crucible Knight, you're going to want strength and a lot of faith. Now, I did my research, and the best person for starting class-wise is the Prophet. It has the best strength and faith out of all the other ones, in my personal opinion. Now, of course, you could choose anybody, make the faith and strength how you want, but to get the best start, you want to start with Prophet. And usually just kind of level strength and faith, a little bit of dex as well, while you're in there as well, to really upgrade the way to use the sword, and obviously the incantations that you'll be using, the aspects of the Crucible. So yeah, Prophet is the best for this very choice, since biggest faith level out of all the starting classes. So start with Prophet, and then you will make your way on to the next step. So, you're going to want to make your way to Godric and defeat him to claim his great runes so that you'll be able to go into Lurinia. I know you can go into Lurinia without killing Godric, obviously, but you're going to want to kill Godric, and you're going to want to kill Renala so you can get both their great runes and get your way into the Altus Plateau, where from there you'll be going into the Arise Hero's Grave, and you'll be dealing with a double boss fight. Now, for the double boss fight, I really do recommend having somebody there with you, or at least a summon, because dealing with both Crucible Knights, Ordovis, and the Tree Knight, it is not fun at all. The Tree Knight is really, really aggressive. Same with Ordovis. They're both really aggressive, despite them both being giant 8-foot monsters, but the Crucible Knights are slow, and you can easily predict them. Although there is one thing that I would like to mention. I didn't know the Tree Knight had a grab attack until today. Or, you know, when I was fighting them. Not today, because today is like Wednesday, like a week after I killed it. But, like I said, they have a grab attack during their second phase for the Tree Knight. Be careful, and don't underestimate how far you are from them, because if you really are far, then you'll be fine, but, you know, you'll learn the fight as you go along. Obviously, that's how Elden Ring is meant to be played. But I do recommend having somebody there, or at least a summon, so you could focus on one enemy, and while the other boss is focused on that specific summon or your friend. It sounds kind of weird that you're sacrificing your friend for this, but hey, man, I don't judge how things gotta be done anyway, so things gotta be done. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, you'll get Ordovis's Great Sword and the Crucible Knight armor set from defeating these two Crucible Knights within the Arise Hero's Grave. And I don't know if I said this, but the Ordovis's Great Sword scales really good with strength and not so much faith. It really does suck at faith scaling, but it does add a little bit of damage, obviously. So it does deal holy damage as well, not the best damage type, of course, and a lot of endgame bosses are really resistant to holy damage. Elden Beast, Radagon, for example, them two are really resistant to holy damage, so it's not the best. But you're also going to be doing physical damage as well, so that's also another plus. And you're going to be using somber smithing stones instead of normal ones, so it only goes up to level 10, but it's easier to keep track of, so in my eyes it is, at least. So yeah, that's the Crucible Knight armor and Ordovis's Greatsword. In order to get the Horned Shield, you'll need to go to Norkron, or, you know, the Shiofra River, basically. It's not really the Shiofra River, but, you know, it's in the area. And for this, you'll need to defeat Radon and make the meteor crash into Limgrave, and then enter Norkron through that way. This is, I think, the only way to get into Norkron in the first place. So, you need to get into Norkron via Radon, you know. And while you're there, you're going to need to go to the Shiofra Aqueduct, where you'll be able to face off against another Crucible Knight, and this is the Crucible Knight that will drop you your Horned Shield. Now, you can easily cheese this guy if he goes into his second phase and does his wings attack. You can make him fly off the edge, and like that, you can get your Horned Shield. I prefer a more traditional style of combat. I don't like cheesing bosses a lot. I don't know. It's not really fun. But as you saw there, that was the Ordovis's Vortex, and it literally just knocked the dude onto the floor. I don't know what to say. It's a pretty good Ash of War. I think that's what they're called, right? It's a pretty good Ash of War, and I really do recommend using Ordovis's Greatsword for any normal playthrough, actually. It's really fun to play with. And the moveset with the Greatsword is really nice, too. Unfortunately, you can't do all those nice, cool, spinny attacks like a normal Crucible Knight does, although it would be really cool, but I feel like that, game-breaking. Anyway, this is the Crucible Knight that also drops the Horned Shield. Now, there is another Crucible Knight in the area, a Tree Crucible Knight, but they don't really drop anything besides a Smithing Stone, so they're not really worth killing, but they're good to kill for the runes, I guess you could say. So, yeah, that's how you get your Horned Shield as well. This is currently where my stats stand at. 36 Vigor, 18 Mind, 35 Endurance, 37 Strength, 16 Dex, 7 Intelligence, 33 Faith, and 10 Arcane. Now, I'm not actually done with my personal Crucible Knight build. I still have a little bit here left to finish up. Of course, the aspects of the Crucible incantations. You get one from the Crucible Knight in the Stormhill Everjail on, of course, Stormhill, where you fight that Crucible Knight, get the tail incantation. If you fight Tanith's Knight after Pride of Rykard, you'll see Tanith eating, well, the now dead Pride of Rykard. You hit Tanith, you'll be invaded by Tanith's Knight, kill him, and you'll get aspects of the Crucible Breath. Now, I'm pretty sure there's like one more, though I am not entirely sure where to get it, so don't hate me. Now, for the seal that you're going to be using, I really, really do recommend the Beast Claw seal, since you're already a high level of strength, and the Beast Claw does scale really good with strength. I recommend using the Beast Claw seal for this build. Of course, put it in your left hand or your right. Hey, I don't care what you do. That's all I'm saying. My opinion. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's pretty much all you want to do for the Crucible Knight build. I'll show some PvP gameplay, see how you guys like it. Maybe some PvE gameplay as well. And you guys get to do your best to copy this build, I guess. I don't know. It's completely up to you, but that's pretty much the basis of this build. I'll be doing another video like this one for the Tree Crucible Knight, which is the one with the spear and, that really cool fancy tree helmet. So, stay tuned for that, like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Thank you, and it means a lot. I want to give a special shout out to this guy specifically. I got invaded by a Crucible Knight build as well. I felt really happy. It was really cool seeing a second Crucible Knight build out there in the world as well, especially with the same weapon and stuff. So I respect this guy, and I am glad that he defeated me, because bro, he's the better Crucible Knight, let's be honest.